Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to some more coverage on Summer Game Fest. This is actually the second Xbox conference. They actually refer to this one as the Xbox Extended Conference. So we're going to take a look at that. Might have to turn it down just a little bit. But yeah, how's everybody going in chat? Hey, Ron Allen, JT, Mikey. Ron Allen coming in with the T160. Thank you very much. Mikey with the T140. JT with way too many bits. What are you crazy guys doing? Yes, thank you very, very much. So this conference is more information on games that we saw, and a look at some games that we didn't see. So let's get into it. Here we go. I'll have to adjust some volumes as we go.
Hey, we are a small snippet of Squanch Games, and we are here to tell you how excited we are to be a part of the Microsoft Games Show Extended.
Game Showcase Extended.
You know, Game Showcase Extended. What's the need
Raji
for the
coming in with the
extended?
Prime
Why add that
45.
extra
Thank you
word?
very much.
Like, is there one that's not extended? And that's why?
We're getting nods. There is a not extended one. Okay.
And that one's just called without the extended.
So that's just called.
Yes.
There's the normal one. I know what this is.
Yeah.
Well, hey, look, we're happy to be a part of it nonetheless.
Let's see, which game was this? Let's see. They said squash games. Oh, this is okay. So that's Redfall. That's Forza. Also, the bit rate on this is like very low, chat. That's a Pelican in Flight Sim. That's Diablo 4. They're jumping around pretty quick. That's like Minecraft Legends or something like that. Yeah, something that I kind of forgot about when we were watching the first showcase the other day is everything they showed was coming out in the next 12 months. We're going to have to jump into Flight Sim and check out some of them new planes. Also, tomorrow, everybody, I'm going to be doing a kind of like a recap deal for Summer Game Fest. Even though technically it's not over, I want to do like a top 10
Welcome to Xbox Games Showcase
like trailers.
Extended. I'm Aaron, this is Malik, and we have the honor of diving deeper into some of the most exciting and talked about announcements, as well as gameplay from the Xbox and Bethesda Games Showcase just 2 days ago. For the first time ever, the entire showcase was focused on games you can play over the next 12 months.
That's right, Aaron. You saw world premiere gameplay.
You know what? I felt like they had to
Starfield,
do
and
that
today,
because
we
Sony
got
was putting up
Bethesda's
too
own
much
Pete
pressure.
Hines right here to tell us more. You'll hear from the renowned
Even though
developers
Sony
behind
doesn't
the
have much
brand
coming out.
New Xbox franchise, Our History Untold. Dive into Naraka Blade Point with our partners at NetEase Games.
Like Sony's got
and so
Stray
much
coming
more.
out.
But first, we begin with a
And
special
then, like,
look at how
really
our
nothing
fans got
else,
to
like,
celebrate
official
the
for the rest of the
Xbox
year.
and Bethesda
God of War is
Games
a
Showcase
maybe, you know?
With a message from our very own Phil Spencer.
Hey, Phil.
love coming to events like this. You can just feel the energy, people loving to come together as a community, their love of video games, the Xbox fans. Just a really special time for everybody, myself included. Gaming has this unique ability to bring people together.
You know, Phil comes across as like a really nice, like down-to-earth guy.
It's so great.
The fact that he would like do that and just like hang out with people.
What did you like in the show? Those
like you don't see the Sony guys doing that.
Areas that they like and areas they wish we would do more. I think that's something that drives us. You saw it in the show today. People said, we want to see more gameplay. And so we said, okay, great. You're going to see a ton of gameplay.
Yeah, you know, I think this is our biggest lineup ever in terms of just diversity of different kinds of games from different kinds of teams, different genres.
I want to know what's happening with Hellblade 2.
Don't always come to Xbox.
That's like my biggest shock.
We obviously have Persona.
The fact that we saw nothing on Hellblade 2.
It's important to us. We not only have all
considering
the
that
games
it's
studios,
like they've literally had like 3 or 4 trailers for the game. And last E3 they had like 6 minutes of gameplay on it. Usually when they do that, that means it's gonna come out the next year.
He's building a video game, but he has this real unique things that he wants to do in the game, and we said, okay, let's go do something.
It's like, are they rebooting it?
I'm just really proud to be in an industry that can be part of so many people coming together.
Have we seen this one? It's what happens when you see like 60-some games over the span of 4 days. Some of them start to run together a little bit. Oh, this is Valheim? That was not shown at any of the conferences. We need a release date for this game. It's coming to Game Pass. But we need a 1.0 date. Because I'm not touching that game till it's done. That was kind of loud. Your ding noise is loud.
Bethesda opened the showcase with a dramatic gameplay demo for Redfall and closed it with Todd Howard showing us how deep the rabbit hole goes on Starfield. And we also got a sneak peek at upcoming expansions for Elder Scrolls Online and Fallout 76. Here to break it all down for us is the man, the myth, the legend himself, Pete Hines from Bethesda. Pete, how are you?
I'm great. Good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
You know, I have not tried 76 yet. I kind of want to.
Starfield, so I wanted to give you a chance to tell us a little bit about the decision-making process for that.
Absolutely. Look, with all the time that goes into a game, it would be foolish to rush it out the door before it's ready. I think we have continued to sort of examine how we think about games and making sure that they are going to meet our players' expectations. Obviously, the last 2 years have really challenged us from a development standpoint. How we work now largely remotely, while a lot of our folks are not back in the office. And, you know, that has an impact. I also think we've been thinking about things like release dates and when do we give those out and how do we make sure we give one out that we actually hit and don't have to change later. So it's not something we undertake lightly, but at the end of the day, I think what our fans expect, what Xbox fans, what Bethesda fans expect is a high-quality game, and we want to do everything we can to give our teams the time to fully realize the games they're making.
Yeah, and I think that's what it's all about, right? Like delivering an amazing experience for the players out there. And so, speaking of games, we're just going to jump into it. We're going to start with how the showcase started with
Sounds good.
Redfall. Now, before we even get into the game, Arcane's making the game, and I want you to talk a little bit about the pedigree of Arcane, just in case people don't know.
Sure.
these folks over there,
They
they're
got a
doing
pretty
their
good track
thing.
record.
Arcane Studios is known for really amazing, immersive sims. They do any number of things. If you play games of theirs, Dishonored, Dishonored 2, Prey, there's a lot of common threads you'll find in them. They create really amazing, believable worlds. I think that's a big part of their game is when you're in Dunwall or you're up on a space station in Prey, that it feels believable. There's a reason why things
Prey is
are
another
the way
one
they
that I
are. They're
have,
also
but I've never
big
played it.
believers in systems-based as opposed to scripted. So they really embrace player freedom and sort of giving players the tools to decide, you figure out how you want to complete this mission or get through this area. We're not going to tell you how. We're just going to give you tools and then give you the freedom to go and do. But, you know, there's great characters and interesting story. They bring a lot of different elements and then really let the player create the experience they want.
And that's what it's all about. Gamers have taken many games and made it their own. And I think the fact that Arcane is making the game with that in mind is super important. Now, how similar or dissimilar would you say this game, Redfall, is from the other Arcane
I mean,
games?
look, on the surface, it's a first-person shooter that you can play solo.
Yeah, he talked
or with,
about,
you know, up to 4 players, and so immediately
players
you
have
might say,
taken
well, it's
games
not a
and made it their
single-player game, so
own.
it must be wildly different. And don't get me wrong, there's
Modding in
absolutely ways
Bethesda
in which it
games is
different,
something
but
that's
I think
like
when
really
folks
big.
play the game,
I've
and
already
even
heard
when they
people
see more of
talking
the game, I think
about
they'll start to see all of those things
how they
about an
are gonna
Arcane
plan
game that
to
they,
mod
that they love
Starfield.
and appreciate. You know, why it's won multiple Action Game of the Year
There's
awards.
like,
for
oh, there's
Dishonor,
these
for
1,000
Dishonored 2,
planets,
is
and
their
most of them
ability
will
to
probably be
bring
empty.
all of those
And
things
so the
together,
modders are
really
gonna come
high
in and
level
make them
polish
not
and
empty.
let folks experience it. And so I think all of those things we talked about. If you
I'll
want
see.
to play a game by yourself and get a great Arcane story, you can absolutely do that in Redfall. But you can also do things that you haven't been able to do in an Arcane game, like experience it with friends and find out sort of how the whole can become greater than the sum of the parts, like playing it off of each character's abilities. You saw some of that in the demo that we showed. You know, I think the more that people appreciate that, you almost are going to want to try and play Redfall a couple of different ways. You might want to play it by yourself a little bit, play it with others, and it's a game that allows you to do either or both of those things, however you see fit.
I'm glad you talked about playing with friends because I'm taking applications for friends to help me get through Redfall.
Can I put my name on that list? I'm down to a little.
It'd be an honor. Pete.
Keep me on that list.
All right,
we
we're
need
gonna
to
do
go
it.
explore Redfall.
Playing with the
together.
developers
I'm
cheating,
excited.
sir.
I can't wait for that. And so let's talk a little bit more about the game. Now, you know, between the trailer that we saw last year at the reveal, as well as this one that we just saw, I feel like Redfall reminded players of other co-op shooters, like Left 4 Dead, for example. What makes Redfall unique?
Again, it's one of those things, like if you watch just like combat footage, you might look at Left 4 Dead or Back 4 Blood or any of these things and go, oh, I see multiple characters facing a bunch of enemies, and like, so it's the same game. But I think that would be doing a disservice, that it's all of the things that take place in between the combat as well as the combat itself, sort of combining different skills and abilities in the way that you do, you know, Layla dropping down an elevator using her powers that Jacob can use to get up top on a roof and provide cover. You know, you have different characters who play roles really well, how you choose to use Brebone, the robot, all of those things come into, again, allowing the players
Is that
not
robot
to say,
made of silver?
here's a set of rules and you can only use.
Does he have wooden,
here's
like,
just some
stakes?
stuff that you can go off into this amazing sort of dynamic.
If he doesn't, he's not
going
gonna
to
do much against these
sort of
guys.
experience and explore for yourself, and you come back the next day.
Silver bullets,
and
maybe?
It'll look and feel like a different experience, even though you're in the exact same part of the game. I mean, I think those are the kinds of things that Arcane does that really bring that sort of extra special element that makes their game so compelling.
Yeah, compelling and fresh. So I'm excited for Redfall, and you said it here for everyone to see that we're going to be playing together. So I'm going to hold you to that.
Absolutely.
You got the proof. All right.
Can't wait.
Oh, awesome. So let's talk about Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I wanted to talk about the team philosophy because I hear
Holy water
that,
sprinkler
the team is
system.
actually banned from saying things like, now is the perfect time to
My
play.
least favorite saying is there's never been a
no.
better time to play a game. Like, we all say that. Yes, games always get better. We know that. The thing that we love about where Elder Scrolls Online is going is their ability to continually refresh the experience for players, provide new experiences, like going to High Isle, a place they've never been in an Elder Scrolls game. It does a lot of things like story and intrigue. There's a lot of politics in High Isle, different factions and the conflict that's going on.
Anybody
there.
in
And again,
chat
a
excited for
way
this
that
game?
You can jump in and play by
Or this
yourself
expansion?
and experience it by yourself, even though it's an MMO. but the real special sauce of Elder Scrolls Online is our amazing community. They're so welcoming. They're so helpful. You know, if you need a little bit of help, if you need a lot of help,
they're there for you.
They're there for you to help explain, to, you know, to make sure you have a fun experience. And honestly, like, that is such a huge part for an online game of creating an environment where anybody, no matter whether you just started playing or you've been playing for 8 years, can have a good experience no matter how you decide to engage with it.
I love that you mentioned that. Community is as you mentioned, is such a huge part of any online game. And so for players who may not have played Elder Scrolls, who are, like you said, looking to jump in, to know that they have that community backing them, that's going to help them, guide them in their journey, is super exciting. So, but I want to talk about Fallout a little bit.
Okay.
Huge milestone recently, 25 years of Fallout. It can rent a car even now. At this point, right? We're talking about it. All right, so this has to mean something super special to them.
By the way, for those who didn't
and
see
look,
it, there was
we
another
are
interview
as
done by
aware of anybody.
IGN.
Like,
It was
franchise did not
either
start
Pete
with
or
Bethesda. It's
Todd, I'm
one
not
that
sure
we
which.
Took on along
And
the way.
you actually
and
got
our
some
intent
more
is not
Bethesda
just
info.
to pay homage to, like,
Basically,
Bethesda Fallout. Like, no,
the
we
next
mean
Fallout
all
is 10
because
years
what
away.
The series has done, what it meant to us as players.
Is
when we
what he
went
said.
and played those games, played the original Fallout 2. And then what the franchise has become, and sort of growing and finding an even, you know, a new audience with Fallout 3, Fallout 4, Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 76 is something we really want to celebrate. And honestly, what's going on in Fallout 76 with the pit and your ability to continue to push the boundaries in an online game of story and meaningful player choice, and as you're going along, making decisions that kind of matter and have a real impact, I think is important in the evolution of Fallout 76. And just honestly, how far that game has come from its launch. Like, we're keenly aware of how that launch went, but we are also keenly aware of the incredible amount of effort and dedication from all of our teams across Bethesda to say, like, we believe in this thing, and we want to give the fans more of what they want and the kind of experiences that they want. And where Fallout 76 is now is truly remarkable when you go back and look at sort of where we were and how far we've come, and honestly, how much cool stuff is in store in the pit. It's going to be super fun.
Excited to jump in, and again, that's one of those things that I'm sure you guys attribute to the community, giving that feedback.
You know, that 76 community, again, not just in the game, but what they do for each other, to support other folks in the community, what they have done to raise funds for worthwhile causes. Like, it's not just an amazing group of gamers, it's an amazing group of human beings, and honestly, one that we're honored to interact with and be a part of every day.
I love that, Pete. Before you make me cry, we're going to move on to Starfield, all right?
Okay.
All right, so let's talk about it. Starfield ended the show. I got to say, watching the trailer, breathtaking. It's one of those things.
So another one of the things confirmed today about Starfield
between that moon
is that there will be no atmospheric flying.
The dog fighting.
So basically, if you're in space,
so the team really outdid
and you see a
themselves.
planet and you land and you pick the land location, it'll be a cutscene
and it's been the
to
case,
land.
honestly, since,
If you take off, it's a cutscene back out to space.
We talked about.
So it's not like No Man's Sky.
Every single one, you cannot pin people down to, oh, it's about this, because it's not. Like, ultimately what those games are massive sandboxes where they give players just ridiculous amounts of freedom to say, you go figure out what kind of game you want to play and what kind of experience you want to have, because that's what this game is about. It's not us prescribing and saying, you have to do these things. And like, no, it's about creating this huge sandbox with over 1,000 planets so you can completely explore and say, yeah, but you don't have to. Like, it's entirely up to you to figure out what is fun for me. Do I want story? Do I want to join factions? Do I want to, build outposts and gather resources to build more cool stuff? The team really puts all of those tools in the player's hands.
Starfield has the potential to be
now it's time for you to tell
like
the story
one of the
Starfield,
coolest
which is
games
your
out
story,
there.
which is going to be different than mine, which is
We'll
going to
see
be
if they
different
can
than
pull it
everybody
off.
else's. And I think that's really where the magic of a Bethesda Game Studios game happens.
Speaking about the scope of everything, Todd said that this is what an epic RPG
Yeah, they
is.
also said that our
What does
character
Bethesda
will
define
be
an
a
epic
silent
RPG as?
protagonist.
I think, again,
Which
it's
definitely
sort of leaning
sucks.
into, look, there's a lot of folks who take a lot of different approaches on what does an open world mean. And Bethesda Game Studios always pushes themselves to
I'm trying to remember,
most
chat.
freedom and least
Did the main
limitations,
character
right? Where
in
the items in the world are all real things.
Fallout
you walk into a
4,
store and there's a
Fallout
bunch of
76,
weapons or whatever. Like, that's not just art on
or
a countertop.
Skyrim,
Like,
did
you
any of the
can
main
pick those up. You
characters,
can
like our
steal
characters,
them
have
and
a
run out of
voice?
it. You can create
I'm thinking
chaos.
the
Like,
answer
we
is
don't
no.
want to put too many limits on what the player is or isn't allowed
So
to
that-
do. We love it when
So that's
players say,
kind
"I
of
wonder
the
what happens
Bethesda
if
thing.
and then they try
Where your
it, and
character
then they
just doesn't talk.
Get to see like, oh my lord, chaos ensued, and it was insanity. Everybody was shooting at me, and like that's I think the beauty of Bethesda Game Studios and the number of ways that they push for you to explore that. Right? It's not just one. It's you could spend thousands of hours doing nothing but shipbuilding and like focus that as all you're about.
I want to
and
do
that's okay.
nothing but
you could also
craft
be about
and
exploring
trade.
every planet and finding all of the good, and that's okay. Or you could just play the main story and be like, I want a kind of experience that I'm guided through so that I kind of get to see stuff, and I might stop here and there. Oh, there's a cool side quest that I got, but you know, I want something that sort of leads me through because I'm a little, you know, it can be a little daunting to say you can go do whatever I want. Like, ooh, I don't know what I should do. So
don't think
some
Outer
folks
Worlds
want
character had a
little bit of
voice.
guided
I'm pretty
path
sure you're
to
correct.
Understand where the fun is, and no approach is wrong. Like for me, that's epic because it says we aren't putting any limits on what you can or can't do. We're going to set you loose and just sit back and watch the beauty that you create with your own stories and the way that you solve problems or choose to spend your time in this world we've created.
I love that. And you know, what you said about, you know, those moments that maybe you experience that I don't, like those are some of the best moments if I think back to playing RPGs when I'm discussing with my friends, oh, did you see that? No, I didn't see that. Where did you see it? And having them go out and find it. So I think that's going to be one of those things.
We talk about that a lot, that sort of water cooler moment.
Exactly.
Of like you come in the next day and you talk to everybody about what you did and you were like, wait, I did that quest, but I did this completely different thing. And you sort of start to appreciate all of the choices that you could have made. You didn't even realize were an option. Like, oh, I didn't even think about doing that. Like, oh yeah, I just ran in and stole his ship and shot all of his crew members and took off. Like, you can do that.
Do we know if this game is always online?
I think that is.
I don't think they've said
a
yet.
Special part.
They've said nothing about multiplayer.
And when we say epic
so
RPG,
I'm assuming it's just a single player game, but they've not said anything.
Some ideas for stealing people's ships. So I appreciate that. That's going to be top on the list to do in Starfield. Now, we saw quite a bit of combat and action in the game. That seems to also be, in addition to exploring and everything, that seems to be another huge focus of the game.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, look, if you look at a game like Skyrim, which like everybody's played Skyrim at this point, it can, you know, a combat is a big part of that. Unless you decide it's not. Like if you're one of those folks that says, actually, I'm going to do the alchemy thing and I just go off and pick flowers and make potions and like live another life in another world this way, then combat isn't part of it. But look, we know in an epic RPG, there's always bad people, they, you know, shooting at you. Sometimes you got to return fire, and there's a lot of fun to be had there. And so, you know, providing a lot of different skills that sort of determine how good you are in combat, combined with all the different weapons in the game, and then you layer in ship combat and all of these other things, it starts to sort of paint a picture of just how broad or how deep the rabbit hole goes.
It's going to be so impressive. And you touched on it a little bit, and I want to talk about it because this was when I'm watching the video, the demo, what I saw, and it really caught my eye is around the ship. It's not just getting in the ship and that's your ship. There's so much behind it. Can you talk about it a little bit?
Yeah, like every ship is customizable to the nth degree and not just like cosmetically. I want my ship to look like this or look like that, though obviously that's totally a thing that you could do if all you care about is cosmetics. But it goes much deeper than that in terms of like what kind of shields you have, what kind of weapons you have, like what kind of ship are you building? What do you want it to be good at? What trade-offs are you willing to make or not? And then the other part of it is, of course, well, you can't just, like, it's a spaceship. Those aren't cheap. So you have to figure out, like, how am I going to do this? Where do I get the resources to build this stuff? What kind of, you know, skills do I need to level up?
You just know that people are going to mod in, like,
you know, what I could do
all kinds of Star Wars and Star Trek
choices
and
in terms of you get to decide that
Babylon and just all kinds of stuff into that game.
Give somebody money for the parts that you want. You want to build it. All of those things are sort of part of the fun of deciding how much do you want to interact with this and how do you want to interact with it.
Absolutely.
Is there a third-person view?
As
yes.
You mentioned, the scope, the level of player
both
agency,
on the
like
ground and in ship combat. You can toggle
experience.
either.
So between Redfall, ESO, Fallout 76, and Starfield, you all are just
we got a few
killing the
games
game.
coming. Yeah, we got a few games coming out.
It's going to be so great. Pete, thank you so much for stopping by.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, Pete. Now, coming up, we'll hear from our friends around the world, including Squanch Games, Obsidian Entertainment, Playground Games, and of course, Xbox fans like you. But first, let's hear from the creators of one of the world's most popular Battle Royale games.
I wonder how many people are actually playing Naraka.
大家好，我是永劫无间制作人关磊。 We are
Let me
glad
look it
to
up
share
right now.
Naraka Blade Point, a unique online multiplayer action game with players all around the globe. As a NetEase studio, 24 Entertainment is joining hands with Microsoft to bring Naraka Blade Point to consoles for the first time. You could play the game on Xbox Series X and S, as well as Windows next week. We're also joining Xbox Game Pass, a platform with a huge player base.
So right
and a
now on
vast, bright
Steam,
future. Naraka has been so well received on the
there's
PC platform.
11,362. The 24-hour peak
As a
was
competitive survival game,
basically
incorporating a lot of
96,000.
action elements.
So,
Naraka
I guess it's doing
features
all right.
a range of characters with unique personalities.
Over the
Each
last
hero
2
draws
months,
from
it's seen
different
about a
civilizations and
17%
Battles
decrease in
allow for
players.
a great degree of strategic play. You've got a wealth of melee and ranged weapons to choose from, and a vast map filled with interactive elements to explore. Perhaps you'll engage your foes in samurai combat, katanas at the ready, or maybe you'll use Persian assassin techniques and strike from afar. With your grappling hook, you can fly between temple walls and across bamboo forests with ease. Beyond solo endeavors, you can also party up with friends and use group tactics to flatten your foes. That's Naraka's underlying design philosophy, that you're unchained and have the freedom to choose how you play. Collect soul jades to change how you play, transform your katana strikes, and make your cannon a weapon of mass destruction. Each hero can be customized too. Whether you want to rush into battle as a berserker warrior or cast fireballs as a sorcerer, the choice is yours. We can't forget to mention our unique face customization system too.
Just
You'll
face?
never need to worry about running into a doppelganger on the battlefield, because you're able to edit your hero's features to your heart's
Hey, look at
content.
that.
You can even recreate
It's just
your
like
favorite
the
faces.
WWE 2K,
As we approach Naraka's first launch anniversary,
except for like better.
we're introducing a brand new weapon, the Twin Blades, releasing together with the Xbox and Game Pass editions. Twin Blades strike with the speed of a raging tempest and sweeping blows. We've seen similar weapons in other games, but here in Naraka, it comes with a style all its own. Charging up strikes is usually a high-risk, high-reward move. With the Twin Blades, you can charge up while moving and keep your momentum as you unleash a flurry of combos on foes. Since its release, Naraka Blade Point has launched its own faction clash game mode with Omni's Nightmare and the thrilling limited-time mode Shadow Surge. There have been many casual modes
Shadow
to play as well,
Surge.
but our community has eagerly asked for a campaign mode.
So Murad, I take it
We're always
you haven't
listening
had a
to our
chance to
player
see
base,
the full
and we're happy
Starfield
to
presentation.
announce that the wait is over. Players will see the first
I'll probably
chapter
go
of our
through that
campaign mode.
tomorrow
Form
night.
teams of 3 to take on new enemy types and massive bosses. Disarming a boss won't be as easy as disarming another player though. PvP and campaign mode are two entirely different games. Further campaign chapters are also in the works, so we're eager to hear any feedback you have for us. We are also working on an Xbox One version and hope to see more players join Naraka later this year. Naraka is launching on Xbox Series X and S and Windows Store on June 23rd, and it's included with Game Pass at launch day. Now's your chance to dive into the world of Naraka Blade Point.
快来体验我生无拘吧！
Okay, I think we've seen this one. Which one is this? Oh, this is this like civilization game.
With moments of greatness.
But we haven't seen any gameplay of this, so I don't know what it is.
Well known, some lost to time. But what about the history that could have been if you were its architect? How would you reshape the world? What new stories would you tell? And when your people speak, would you listen? How would you lead them in this new world? History is filled with moments of greatness, but these will be yours.
Are we going to get some more info on this game? What is it?
I'm excited to welcome our friends from Oxide Games for a closer look at their historical grand strategy game for PC called Aura: History Untold. Dan, Michelle, thank you two for joining us today.
Thank you for having us.
And on behalf of the entire studio, we are really excited to be here and finally be able to talk about Aura.
I mean, we all are excited too. You just had the world premiere 2 days ago for Aura. And I have to say, I'm a really, really big history fan. I love me some history, so I've been looking forward to talking to you two about this. Now, we all know this is not your first strategy game, but the vision behind Aura is so ambitious. So tell us more about it. And also for those who are new to Oxide Games, we would love to hear more about the studio as well.
So Oxide Games was founded 9.5 years ago in my basement, actually, from the development leads of Civilization V.
So
and our goal is
many
to push strategy games to the next level.
And what's really great about working on a new IP is that you don't have kind of these previous expectations that a sequel would have. And so the sky really was the limit, and we got to really take the genre to a new space. And we really hope that not only will fans of strategy games like this, but people who've never played a strategy game before will find something they love as well.
You're absolutely taking it to the next
Oh wait, this
level.
is a city builder?
I think I saw like a drone was in like the 18th century or something like that. It's very, very fascinating.
I'm trying to look up and see what other
And
games
I
they've
think
made.
That, like, if you're someone who really enjoys history, it's bringing like all of the worlds
Oh,
together.
they made
all the
Ashes
periods
of the
time
Singularity.
together. And
I've
that's
heard of
a
that.
grand
Okay.
vision in itself. So how does the vision of Aura impact the player experience within the game?
They also made a game
So
called
one of the
Star
kind of big things
Swarm.
we wanted
I've
to
not
do
heard
with
of that
Aura
one.
was really explore how to make the game less about finding that optimal strategy, that optimal path, and really bring in ways to make it more meaningful to the player, make it unique to themselves. So what are different kinds of choices we can bring to the player so that when you play, it's different than when I play, and yet we can both be competitive together? How can we do things to really impact agency and expression and really let you express your values and your play styles through the different mechanics in the product?
And Dan, what about you? How does the vision impact the overall experience?
So one of the big things that we've been working on is what we call the living world. We wanted the expression of the game to manifest itself in a way that felt authentic and cool. So we've spent a lot of effort on making sure that the choices that you make are expressed in a visual way. And so you're going to see your citizens doing things that reflect the choices that you've made. And this is actually really challenging. So one of the goals when we founded Oxide was to not have to tell the designers, no, you can't do that thing. And so the game is obviously huge. It's just massive. And so it's a very large technological constraint.
This is
from
a little
doing
bit
something like
off
that. But we have
topic,
our own
but I hope
proprietary engine that allows
Firaxis,
us to really bring
when they do the next
this
Civilization,
alternate Earth to life.
I hope
I
they
think
go
that's the
back to
beauty, right? 'Cause
sci-fi.
in history, the great thing about learning history is that you learn about culture.
I feel
you
like
learn
they
about
tried it
stories,
once,
You learn about things that are probably
and it was
brand
kind of
new to your
like
eyes.
mixed,
But, the way
but I
that
hope
Aura
they
helps
try it
you
again.
Remix, reimagine, and rewrite history is a beautiful sight to see. And I'm excited to get my hands on it, and I'm sure everyone else is who's watching. So let us know, where can we learn more about it, and when can we get our hands on it? Because I need it today.
So if you head over to the website, you can sign up for the Insider Program, which will give you
Well,
a
it's next
chance
12
to
months,
join the
right?
technical alpha and play the game later this summer, which is super exciting because
Wait,
we've been
this
playing
summer?
it, all the time, and so now you'll have a chance to play.
Dan, Michelle, thank you two so much for giving us the lowdown on Aura. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Crazy.
Grounded is finally leaving early access and moving into full release with a highly anticipated story
Oh, the
mode.
alpha's this
Here's
summer.
Adam Brennicky and Eric Dorabella from Obsidian
Grounded is another
Entertainment
game
to
that
tell
I
us
didn't
more.
want to play until it was done, so. We're going to have some
What can
fun
players expect
petting
from the
some
1.0
ants
launch
and
of
some
Grounded?
ladybugs.
The big one, of course, is going to be a complete game, and that means story, right? From beginning to end, you can play through, why are you here? Who put you here?
Yeah, exactly.
And how are you going to get home? And I think those are like the big questions that people are
I'm
asking
going to
about
build a
Grounded.
flamethrower and kill them spiders.
Originally, we really just wanted to make a survival game. And one of the jokes was, hey, what if we did backyard survival? Everyone was like, yeah, that's a very unusual idea, but I think there's something there. One of the things that we did early on was establish the art style of Grounded. Things started like coming to life as we did the initial prototypes and like seeing some of the cool things, like the first time we added like the spider into the yard, seeing the reactions of people in the office, like even like jump scares, like people screaming. The team is very small. It's the smallest team I've ever worked on at Obsidian. I wanted everyone to be able to participate on the design side of things. So I said everyone is a designer on the team. And I think that extends into our
I'm gonna run into one of them spiders, and then this is gonna happen.
Game preview and early access.
You took a nasty fall. That's probably one of the big successes of the game is how close we work with the community and take all their feedback and suggestions. I think it's super rad.
For a game developer too, that is a huge, huge thing just to get people's
What are you doing to the ladybug? Leave it alone.
What they're liking, what they're not liking, and all those adjustments.
Ladybugs are our friends.
Much better game at the end of the day. We're at that point now that the yard's getting finished, and now we can play through the story. There's a lot of surprises. There's a lot of things that I think players aren't going to expect. And I
think I know what you're talking about. I cannot wait.
I'm actually very curious to what the story is going to be.
I know a lot of players are just waiting for the story to be finished to finally jump into the game. People who played the game previously are also like holding out for more content. I think it's just going to pull a lot of people back in and gain a lot of new players. So Adam, we have the Broodmother from last year. It was like our first big boss. And then we came out with a bunch of mini bosses like
Termite King
and the assistant manager. But in this trailer, we're showing players the Mantis. What can they expect from this?
So we're super excited to finally show off the Mantis. And I know that's been a big ask from players that they want to see a praying mantis in the game.
They've been asking for this for a long time. Do we have anything else that the players can get excited about?
You know, the mantis is just a little tease of one of the new boss fights, but there's more to come, right? Like potentially many boss fights that we have planned for.
This is the Dark Souls of video.
There's a lot more secrets and other
Honey,
things
I
to
Shrunk the
uncover.
Kids.
When we reached 5 million players, I was already super crazy. And then we hit the next milestone of 10 million players still being Xbox.
Doubling it, right?
Yeah, in Xbox Game Preview Early Access.
That just goes to show that we have a fantastic game. Everyone's just so surprised at like how much Grounded has grown.
I just hope that players and the community understand how important they are and impactful on this game with us.
Yeah, we're so thankful for everyone's support along the way. It's been an amazing journey, and we're finally almost at the finish line, right?
Yeah.
And I think we wouldn't
Get 3 months of Game Pass for $1.
Our amazing community and all of the fan support.
I agree. Best community ever. Yeah.
Next, they're going to Flight Sim.
So I got a call from
Hey,
my
it's
good
Pierce
friend
Lilly.
York Newman, the head of Microsoft Flight Simulator. He told me it was imperative that I meet with him. So I'm in this helicopter. We're flying to this location. We're on our way. Let's go.
York! Hey, Paris, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thanks for coming to DC, man.
No, thank you. What am I doing here?
Later. Let's get in. We don't have much time.
Oh, okay.
We gotta catch a flight.
All right, Paris. Right across the Potomac. That's where our contact is.
Are we headed towards Arlington?
It's still secret. I'm sorry.
York, what is this place?
Oh, you'll see. Let's go.
This is a secret. Oh, is it the Aerospace Museum? They got a B-52 bomber in there.
Wow, look at this place.
That's a B-1.
Nick, how's it going?
Hello.
Paris, I would like to introduce Nick Partridge from the Smithsonian
Nice to meet
National
you.
Air and Space Museum.
Thank you for having me. but this makes a lot of sense. I saw during the trailer there was a collaboration between the Smithsonian National Air and Space Museum and Flight Simulator. Here we are at the National Air and Space Museum. So let's talk about that collaboration. Tell me more about
That plane is the SR-71. Oh, you are correct.
He was looking for me, and it turns out I was looking for him to ask the
did
same
did
question,
I say
which was,
B1?
don't you think that our organizations
Yeah,
have
the
a lot in common,
SR-71 Blackbird.
dedicated to bringing flight to everyone?
That's the one
And,
behind them.
I was looking for the Spirit of St. Louis, which is in the Smithsonian ever since 1928, and the Smithsonian was gracious enough. They gave us a millimeter
The
perfect
B1
scan,
is,
which is what we'll feature
one of the
at
new
40th anniversary
weird
edition.
looking
But
ones.
as Nick and I kept talking, it was very
Looks
clear,
like a bat wing.
The world's foremost museum for air and space, the Smithsonian. Yeah. And Microsoft celebrating its 40th anniversary. It's a match made in heaven, and there's lots of things we can do.
Yeah, authenticity, accuracy, access, it's all there. We're hoping that if everyone has as much fun in the community with the content that we
that's
initially
the B2.
collaborated on, a couple of our most historic aircraft. and
Wait,
some
what's
of
the
other
B1 then?
Aircraft in this center are already in the simulator. Maybe we can jump in with both feet and do
Am I
more
crazy?
in the years to come.
Maybe I'm crazy.
Even, who knows? We'll go crazy. We'll put the space shuttle in there.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
All right, you guys have never been here before,
No,
right?
this is my first time.
All right, so keep your eyes peeled, stick together, and Jorg, I've got something special for you right around here.
Perfect.
Hold on.
Check this out. This is my favorite plane, the Junkers Ju-52 3-motor. Amazing.
And that is an awesome plane. And as I look at all these planes around here,
Oh,
it makes
that's
me ask the
okay.
question, are you gonna
Yeah,
put
I thought
all
I
of them
saw
in
one of
Flight Sim?
these.
Maybe not all of them, but we hope
This
a lot
is
of
a
them.
B1.
In the 40th anniversary that comes out this fall, we already have 3. We have the Wright Flyer, the Spirit of St. Louis, and the DC-3. And we hope to get a few more. As Nick and I were talking, there's a lot of things we could do.
Yeah, we started with the most iconic ones, and who knows? There's no lack of opportunity.
You know, I keep saying amazing because this place is amazing. And just like Flight Sim, it just keeps going. So what else is happening?
It does seem like we're going supersonic, like the Concorde here. We've been doing a major update ever since we launched, every month since August 2020. And just today, we're actually launching World Update 10. And guess what?
Tell me.
It's the United States. And it's huge. We have 12 cities, a new height field, brand new aerials, new missions, new airports, new everything.
So there's another
And
20
as
gig
always,
patch for me.
It's free. And check out this beauty. This is the Beechcraft Model 18. They call it the Twin Beach. It's a famous plane, and that's also launching today. And it's a great coincidence.
It's actually a huge coincidence. Jorg's been working on that Beechcraft since before we met, but it's a great example of how much we already had in common.
So Jorg, what can we expect the rest of the year from Flight Sim?
We have a ton of great things coming up. So today is World Update 10. We have 2 more World Updates, one in August and one in October. And then in November, we have the big 40th anniversary edition, which will be an absolute delight for anyone who loves aviation.
Okay, that 40th anniversary edition. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so we're celebrating by bringing back some of the planes from the old Sims, like from Flight Sim 10, 9, 8, even before that. And we're
cool.
restoring some of the old missions, and we're bringing back some of the airports that were in those editions. So it's a real celebration of the franchise.
So this celebration is not only of the franchise, but the past as well.
And we're also adding brand new things on top of it, like that the community really wanted. For example, helicopters. Sobo wrote a brand new fluid dynamic system to make all that work. And then we're adding gliders, which is a completely different way to experience the planet. It's just you and the wind. Right. And then the last one is we're bringing, it's the biggest deal for simmers, a brand new real-to-life airliner, the A310 from Airbus, by a brand new partner called Inibuilds, a great development team. In fact, of the 10 planes we're bringing, most of them are created in collaboration with third parties. So it's a really cool way for us to integrate with the creator community.
Now, how do I get this?
If you're on Game Pass, if you already own Flight Sim, the 40th anniversary edition is a free upgrade.
This has just been an incredible experience, seeing all these planes and going through the history and everything that's coming to Flight Simulator. I mean, thank you so much.
Thanks for coming to DC. Paris, thank you, Nick, for the great collaboration with the Smithsonian. And
I
for
think
kicking
they
off
have
the
a
40th
B-25
anniversary edition of Flight Sim.
Mitchell.
It's been wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
But like behind them, because I could kind of see the tail on it.
Today was a good day, but now I have a need for speed. I'm headed to the danger zone, baby.
estamos aquí para disfrutar del mejor día de mi vida, el día de la Xbox, que estoy muy emocionado.
My one wish for Flight Sim is I wish they would make that game more stable.
Here in FanFest Xbox, and I'm so excited.
Because it's hard to maintain 60 FPS in that game.
Nuevos juegos como Starfield, que yo personalmente le tengo muchísimas ganas.
Me ha encantado y no me lo podía perder. Este es un evento único.
Oh yeah, we gotta try out the Pelican, yeah.
Why gaming? Just a passion.
Es una experiencia única. Me ofrecen algo que no encuentro en otro lado.
Lo que te digo, es como una familia para mí.
Me ha parecido genial y un cierre para un evento así, maravilloso.
Just the passion that people have. I feel very welcome.
High on Life. This was the weird cartoony game.
We're just a snippet of Squanch
where
Games,
your guns
and we're here to talk
you.
about High on Life, our new action-adventure, comedy, Metroidvania, first-person shooter that is nothing at all, a little bit like Microsoft Excel.
All right, you're a bounty hunter now. You gotta help me rescue my friends. They're Gatlians, just like me.
That's our game, High on Life. Pretty insane. There's a lot to talk about.
Let's dive in. So Justin, you're typically known for working in animation. What brings you into the world of games? Why are you in the world of games?
I'm obsessed with games, have been my whole life. Always had ideas, always had, you know, things I would love to make, but just never thought I could ever step into that arena because I lack all the skills needed.
You don't know how games work.
Other than like creative direction, creative ideas, like other than that, I lack all the skills to execute.
But that's why, like, that's part of why you want to start Squanch, right? Is like to be able to have an idea like that and let it grow to something amazing.
And to be able to be creatively,
you know, I know it's something that I've talked about a little bit,
and that was sort of
in like
the
previous
spark
streams.
That just.
But it is
lit the fire of
amazing
Squanch
how
Games,
many
and then
indie
we shipped
developers
Trover,
or
and
new
we shipped
studios have
Accounting
popped
Plus,
up over the
and
last
now
2
we're
years.
on this
You
absolutely
have more and more people
dream game. This is
getting
like our
away from the
real
AAA studios
legit
and making their own
swing at,
studios.
like a proper, you know, like we're indie.
This is like
but,
just
this
another
is like
case.
our
So,
AAA,
you know.
like, or is it triple I for indie?
We're triple I.
Yeah. This is a triple I game.
So the story of our game mostly follows like Earth being invaded by this evil criminal cartel.
You know, you take a look at
aliens who
Blizzard
come in
alone.
and kidnap humans and start selling them on the black market.
There's
with
like
their drugs.
5
And
new
you're the one human who
studios
has to team up with a talking
that
gun
have
and
been
stop
made
them.
from
And when you
Blizzard
select
people in the
cartel
last 2
leader that
years.
you're going to go after, like, it opens the portal door to that world that they're in.
Eric, can you tell us a little bit about the worlds of the game, the art style of the game, the visuals?
Yeah. So we spent a lot of time kind of constructing and creating these awesome alien worlds. Myself and Mikey Spano, who is our art director, him and I worked like a ton on the sort of art direction.
If you were an artist,
He
it'd be a
really
lot
kinda
of fun to
landed in this
concept
space,
that.
which was kind of Blade Runner meets the Muppets. So we're trying to capture that feeling with all of our characters, especially our aliens. And then each world is its own kind of unique flavor, right? I think some of the ideas came from very kind of core thoughts. Like we want to have an awesome alien, like drug den spa on an
Drug
asteroid.
den.
And yeah, what makes me really excited is the sort of really clear and like it's almost deceivingly simple narrative, right?
Save the Earth, humans or drugs, talking guns. Ta-da.
So Alec, who are the guns? What's their deal?
The guns are these talking alien Gatlians. They're all shaped somewhat like a gun you'd find on Earth, but they've evolved to be just gun-like in their own way. And so this race of Gatlians each has their own unique personality, their unique set of abilities, and you're gonna be rescuing them from this evil alien cartel, and together, you gotta stop the bad guys.
And get more Gatlians.
Yeah, collect more Gatlians.
Yeah, a lot of players are going to have very different experiences depending on what gun they favor.
Yeah, you kind of pick your favorite companion to have out a lot and hear their dialogue, be part of different dialogue scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
Look at us, blasting away!
And sometimes you can unlock the guns in a different order than another player has. So
That's
when you
right.
go back through a level, you'll see things that you would have been able to access if you'd done it in the other order.
That's
and you
so
can come back.
That's a huge one.
All right, so we've talked about this crazy good game that sounds amazing. Why should people be excited to play it?
As a studio, we are attempting to bring A-level adult comedy into video games.
Something I love about Squanch is we would put a lot of effort
One
into
thing
things
that
a lot of other studios wouldn't even bother.
I feel like
a
I've always
single
tried
small
to
joke that 5
communicate
players might find.
with anybody who watches my content
Now I can.
I love that
is
stuff.
there's
I
a
love,
lot
like,
of
edge
different
casing
kind of
and, like,
games
That's
out
what makes you
there
remember a game.
for a
Yeah,
lot of
like,
different
if a player's
people.
trying to break the game in a certain way, and then
Like,
you have an answer.
how many
for that
people in
for
chat
them,
play
That
FIFA?
is like such a memorable and amazing
FIFA is one of the
moment.
biggest,
It's almost
most
like watching
successful
TV, but the
franchises out
viewer's
there.
Able to reach into the
And there's
TV
maybe like
and poke a thing,
one of you,
and
or maybe
the
even nobody in
character has
chat
to
plays
respond to that.
those
And
games
there's
because
so
they're
much
not for
fun
you,
to be had,
right?
for the
You can
most
skip
part.
it all. We worked really hard on it.
So
You can
like,
skip it.
just
Yeah,
based
if you
on
wanna
what
just, like,
Mikey
miss
just
out
said
on,
in
like,
chat,
you know,
Yeah,
some
if you're
of
like
the
a big
coolest-
dummy and you don't
It's
want to play
not
the game at
dumb.
all, that's fine. We're
It's just
gonna
not
judge
for
you.
you.
We're just gonna be upset.
that's the best way to look at it. Somebody out there is like, this is the coolest game I've ever seen. Yeah. Also I don't see myself playing that game.
This is gonna be fun. You know I can't let you leave.
Like all these horror games, that's not my thing. Like I don't even play Resident Evil, and those games are like fantastic. Wait, they're doing another game based on that IP? Oh, this is the new Obsidian game. I thought this was a shock. Because they were showing this game a couple days ago, and it's like, oh, this must be some indie game. And then it's like Obsidian, and everybody's like,
which is part of the Holy Roman Empire. You play a character named Andreas Mahler, who is an artist working at a Benedictine abbey. He gets involved in a series of murders and scandals and tries to unravel them over a period of about 25 years. The name Pentiment, it is specifically referring to paintings in which there's an older painting underneath the painting that you see on the top. And if you scrape away the top layer, you see what was left behind. This has a bunch of
I have a feeling like this
Obviously, you're
game
playing a painter, but also it has a lot of significance to the idea of
was
history
probably
kind
the
of being covered and
brainchild of
uncovered
like one or
over
two
time.
people at Obsidian. And they're like, hey, we have an idea for this just this little
When I
simple
saw
game. Do you guys want to do it? And they're like, yeah,
narrative-driven
sure.
Games with really distinctive art styles. I was inspired to make a historical game that focused on the unique art style of the early modern period that was really driven by the relationships between characters and the stories that played out over time. Hannah Kennedy was really integral to defining the art style of Pentiment, especially blending the late medieval illuminated manuscripts with the early modern woodcuts.
Yeah, so there's a lot of major points to solve and kind of marry between wanting this to be a true to the history, true to the feel of the source material that we were referencing as far as the narrative, but also thinking about the types of games that were like what we imagined we wanted as far as a gameplay experience.
From the beginning, I knew that I wanted to portray a community that changed over time, which meant that characters are changing over time. That's really the focus of everything. The buildings do change, but really it's the characters where you see all the crazy stuff happen.
Kids that I had become attached to because it's a 4-year-old, and we designed them to be a 4-year-old, and then they're getting married, and then I felt a weird, like, emotional reaction to that because I'm like, oh, baby's all grown up.
I guess I didn't realize that this game was going to take place over such a long period of time.
I think the 16th century has always been really interesting to me because it was a time of
I wish it would
such
have full
social
voice acting, but
upheaval
I think
in
it's going to
Europe.
have zero voice acting.
I think when we look at social change in the past, it seems like it's a thing that always happens outside of our time. But right now, I think we're maybe more aware than ever that social change is happening constantly, and people are always struggling with it. It's always a difficult process. And so I hope that by looking at people from the past, we can see that even though the setting might be different and the specific issues might be different, ultimately, we always struggle with social change.
It's on Game Pass. I'll check it out. Oh, Dusk Falls. This game again. This game is very unusual with the art style.
Let's do crime.
This game was shown at like 4 conferences.
All you had to do was keep your mouth shut.
I'm gonna override this.
It's like a stop motion kind of deal.
This is my favorite shot of the whole game. This one.
With As Dusk Falls, what we're trying to do is to make a brilliant interactive experience for anyone who loves brilliant storytelling. So people who enjoy films, people who enjoy TV series. It's also a social experience and about sharing these stories with the people you love.
I think we should stick to the plan.
Yeah, stick to the plan.
I took my
Oh, that's right. You can play this as multiplayer.
TV shows, prestige shows,
like each person
Breaking
plays
Bad,
another character or different
Fargo.
character.
I really love Dog Day Afternoon. It's such a wonderful setup.
You try that again, and every last one of them leaves in a body bag.
When you write for interactive stories, it's all about the stakes. You want big choices, the tentpole ones that everyone will remember from the chapter they played, but also you weave in the smaller stakes, the drama bit, like the relationships. Are you gonna stay married?
When you lost your job, this wall went up, and I missed you, okay?
The game deals with very mature themes that you don't normally find in a video game. It really gives you agency over characters that are relatable, that are familiar to you. It's like an interactive story, but with the power of video game behind it.
I only gotta yell, and my
Yeah, the cool thing about this game is that it's a pretty unique idea.
I think you should at least listen to what I have to say.
In the first book, it's mainly
like it's hard to
structured
compare this to
around
any other game that's out
hostage
there.
Situation in a motel in the middle of the desert in Arizona, so it's a pressure cooker.
You want your wife to live? Answer and do exactly what I say.
Book 2 takes another approach entirely, and it's a chase across multiple states in the US.
There's nowhere else to run.
As Dusk Falls is an interactive show, but the important part here is the word interactive. The players are very much needed to help the character on their journey and decide what's going to happen to them, help them grow and change.
It's not like there's one golden path. There's so many different ways through the story.
You can replay it, and then you get to like different story and different ending, and you feel like you're actually achieving something and shaping the story. And also
Chat says the players play one character and vote for the next action.
No, what would you do? I'll try to, yeah.
And at the end of the game, when you play, we tell you about your playstyle, and it reveals something about
Wonder
the
how
player
long it is.
themselves, their values, and the way they interact with the others that they played with.
I think for me, one of the really important things was that this art style could tell lots of different types of stories. We want to take really beautiful, sort of subtle facial performances, really strong dramatic moments, and just really represent that such that every frame is a painting.
It's a single player and multiplayer experience, so 1 to 8 players.
Because we wanted to draw in people who weren't necessarily gamers. Gamers are going to love this game as well because it's a very mature, in-depth story. But this game really taps into your life skills rather than your gamer skills, puts everyone on a level playing field. You did well there. That is a ferocious job.
I did it. You share the same character, you discuss, you make decisions, and majority wins. It's like each player is like a voice in the character head.
Are you taking the money this time?
I am definitely not.
Take the cash. It's been a massive journey, and I can't believe we're just like so close, touching distance to this game. Yeah, I'm gonna miss it when it's done.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's July 19th.
let's check out what mysteries,
Oh, Slime Rancher. We haven't seen this
adventures,
yet.
and, of
This
course,
showed up last
slimes
year.
are waiting for us in the new, vibrant world of Slime Rancher 2.
Anybody ever play the first Slime Rancher? I think it's got pretty good reviews. Yeah, let's see here. Oh, wow, it's got really good reviews. Overwhelmingly positive at 97% for Slime Rancher 1. The game is $20. Them bunny slimes. Wait, was that bunny slime like hugging the pink one? Rainbow Island is full of secret nooks and crannies. Hey, it's like a fish slime and a butterfly slime. Oh no, what a mess. Slime's got spikes. Play it day 1 on Game Pass.
All right, time to get going.
It's Larry.
A while. Put this in here. Australia. Passport. I need a passport. Where's my passport? Passport.
No.
All right. Where's my Uber? All right, let's go. Let's go.
Welcome back to Melbourne. It is so great to be here in person.
I was gonna say we're not gonna get video of his like first class cabin.
Leah, you're in Melbourne with FanFest.
Forza Horizon Hot Wheels.
We are so excited to tell you all about Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels, the first expansion for Forza Horizon 5. So, Mike, let's start with why the team decided to bring Hot Wheels to Forza Horizon 5.
Because it was very successful in the last game, so we're doing it again.
Forza Horizon 3's Hot Wheels expansion. So we've been waiting for the right time to bring everyone another Hot Wheels adventure. Forza Horizon 5 presented the perfect opportunity to bring Hot Wheels to life like never before with the power of the Xbox Series X and S.
It really does sound like the perfect time for Forza Horizon and Hot Wheels. So I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit more about what to expect being in the clouds of Mexico this time.
Yes, you travel to the clouds above Mexico to visit the Hot Wheels Park, which is comprised of over 200 kilometers of the fastest, most extreme tracks yet. Once there, you'll join the Hot Wheels Academy and set out to take on Forza Horizon's most extreme racing yet and prove yourself a Hot Wheels legend.
Let's go.
As well as the iconic orange Hot Wheels track, you'll take on new driving experiences across gravity-defying magnet tracks, as well as ice, water flume, and rumble tracks.
So
wait, what's a water
loads
flume?
About biomes in the build-up to Forza Horizon 5's launch. Are we expecting something similar in Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels as well?
Yes, so we're truly going to see the power of the Xbox Series X and S when we look at Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels' all-new biomes. The amount of detail and diversity that we can pack into the 4 new biomes is breathtaking. We have the rugged Giants Canyon, where you'll hear the growl of your engine bouncing back off the intricately detailed rock formations. The Ice Cauldron, where frozen tundra drips into the glistening molten lava. In Forest Falls, you'll see a tree canopy towering over epic waterfalls. And finally, the visually stunning and exhilarating Horizon Nexus, where the Horizon Festival is suspended among a web of Hot Wheels tracks. And there's more, because new players can jump into Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels as early as possible during the main game's initial experience.
And how are people going to be able to use Event Lab in Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels?
So in Event Lab, you'll have the freedom to design, build, and share using the new Hot Wheels Creation Kit. That's over 80 new track and stunt pieces that instantly snap together thanks to our new building tools. You can then share your creations with the entire community for players to discover and play. We are anticipating our community building an ever-evolving catalogue of new player-created Hot Wheels events that everyone will enjoy.
They all sound absolutely incredible, Mike, but I'm going to ask you
I don't
the most
know if
important
I will
question
go
in the
back
room.
to Horizon or not. I might just wait for
So we have
Motorsports.
10 new amazing cars coming to the pack, including
I'm more of a
4 new
racetrack
Hot Wheels
person
cars, which have
anyway.
been scaled up to real-life proportions. We have the Diora 2, the Bad to the Blade, the Baja Bone Shaker, and the Chevrolet Hot Wheels Copo Camaro. Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels introduces the most extreme tracks we've seen yet in Forza. So we've added some new extreme track toys and hypercars to go with them.
That's fat.
I want to call out the Hennessy Venom F5 and the Mosler MT900 GT3. Their speed is unlike anything we've seen before.
So we know Forza Horizon 5 fans naturally love co-op, so how is that continuing in Hot Wheels?
So, in a first for Forza, you can join up with your friends and play from the very start of the experience in co-op. You and your friends will then take on a new campaign, moving your way up
So
through
what's the
faster
purpose
and
of the
faster car
jet?
classes until you unlock the extreme speed of X-Class and become a Hot Wheels legend. You can also choose to take on the world in Horizon Open or team up with your friends to take on a team of drivatars in the Horizon Tour.
Ooh, I absolutely love that. Final question now, though. When can we expect to play?
Oh, you're racing against the
Forza
jet?
Horizon 5 Hot Wheels releases on July 19th on Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, Windows PC, and Steam.
Mike, thank you so much for joining me. This has been so much fun, and I cannot wait to play.
I feel like that's the second or third release for July 19th. We're jumping back into Fall Guys. Fall Guys is going free to play. Deep dive on Minecraft Legends. I'm wearing a Master Chief helmet. Are they all just gonna all come alive at the... all of a sudden? That's the, what, the Arbiter? I don't know what that ball is that he had.
Now, onto our next block, pun intended, of course. Minecraft Legends is the action strategy take on the franchise you never knew you needed. I'm here with Dennis Rees from Mojang Studios, who has just released the world premiere trailer of Minecraft Legends. Dennis, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Malik.
So happy to have you. I mean, this is a really exciting time for the team. Let's talk Minecraft as a whole, though. That game, I have nothing to back this up, but I feel like everyone on the planet's played Minecraft at this point. But that wasn't enough for you all. You all went and
I have
made
never
Minecraft
played
Dungeons,
Minecraft.
And now we're moving on to the recently revealed Minecraft Legends. So one, tell me a little bit about what it means for the team to actually be able to reveal the game. And then two, just let us know what Minecraft Legends is.
Well, we are so excited to
I don't even know what I would do in that
this
game.
game with the world. We've been working on this game for some time now. Minecraft Legends is an action strategy game. Is set in the Minecraft universe. And in order to build this, we really wanted to partner with a great company that understands strategy games. And so that's when we reached out with Blackbird Interactive. And in doing so, we were able to create an experience.
And they have made
is,
what now?
Welcoming for people who may have not played Minecraft, but also people who have. And I mean, you've seen the trailer. It's about going and traveling through these beautiful biomes, exploring this world that is familiar yet still mysterious. And so as you explore these lush biomes, you collect resources, and then you use those resources to build defenses from these dangerous but very cute piglins. And in those offensive, you're able to fight them back and send them back to where they come from. And you know what? You're going to probably want to build some alliances with some unexpected friends because they're going to help you actually defeat the piglins and send them back to where they come from.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. And I love what you said about trying to make a game that's both for fans of Minecraft that exist and new fans coming in. Minecraft can go in so many different directions, I feel like, with a new game. What made you choose action strategy?
Well, really, it was many years ago, as a group of folks at Mojang sitting around talking about what
Minecraft
game
Dungeons
genres they
is
really
supposed to
enjoy.
be
And
okay.
action and strategy
That's
were,
more of an
the
ARPG
more popular ones that came
with like
up.
loot.
And so we started to think about who we could partner with.
That's
to
probably
build
on
that
Game Pass. I could
experience.
try
And that's
that.
where we came into Blackbird Interactive, and that was back in 2018. And the project was codenamed Badger. And an interesting little fact for many of those people that might follow Minecraft, if you go back to Minecon 2018 and you look at the shirt that Jens Berenstain was wearing, you'll see a graphic on there. And it's in the shape of a badger head. And really, that was meant to be an Easter egg for years forward, which here we are now.
I gotta say, I love a good Easter egg. Now, where would you say that Minecraft Legends fits in the overall Minecraft universe?
Well, the Minecraft universe is just always growing and expanding. And if it's not
It's gotten
from
so
our
crazy,
partner
we don't even know
communities, then
anymore.
It's from Mojang specifically. Like you mentioned Minecraft Dungeons. That's a great example where Mojang went out and we built this dungeon crawler experience in the Minecraft universe, and players love it. It's wonderful. And with Minecraft Legends, we're trying to do something similar, really. And here we're going to be introducing a narratively driven campaign with a whole bunch of new characters and a lot of other things that I'm not ready to share right now.
Dennis, I thought we were friends. You can share it with me and everyone watching. No? Okay, I won't pry anymore. But tell us when the game is coming out and where we can keep up to date.
It's coming out in 2023 on PC and console on Xbox Game Pass. And if you want to know more, just follow us Twitter or jump on Minecraft.net.
Dennis, I'm so excited to jump into Minecraft Legends. Thank you so much for stopping by and giving us the lowdown.
Thanks for having me.
Wonder why they're
What up,
showing all
everybody?
these
It's your boy,
fan
Kirsten,
fests.
aka Von Doom, and we're here at Xbox Fan Fest. We got a whole lot for y'all to check out, so let's get it in.
It's like, here's a thing we did. Oh, it's Steve Saylor.
Your Halo came out, won this sweet jersey. I couldn't believe when I was here on site that I would get to meet the real Master Chief.
Experience here, out of this world. It was really cool to see. I'm gonna go get my nails done because they have a nail station.
I'm gonna go get my nails done.
Redfall looks dynamite, and come on, Diablo 4. Oh, it's so. Why are you so gruesome? All bloody things. No, but it's great. I love it.
What a day we had today. Thank you everybody for showing up to Xbox Fan Fest Toronto. Had a lot of fun, saw a lot of games. Great experiences overall. Catch you in the next one.
Here we come. Are you ready for more?
That's Hollow Knight. A couple of these I don't recognize. That one I've seen. That one I've not seen. That one I've not seen. They're showing like a bunch of indie games that have not been shown over the past 4 days. Flat Eye I've seen. Flat Eye, I actually bookmarked that game. That game looks alright. Coral Island is a Stardew clone. I know, Hollow Knight, that game's gonna be pretty big. I really need to go and play the first one.
I'm joined now by Sarah Bond, who leads the
Bond,
gaming
Sarah
ecosystem
Bond.
organization here at Xbox. Sarah, it's so great to have you.
It is awesome to be here and so good to see you too.
Yes, I'm super excited for this conversation because as we know, game creators are crucial to Xbox's success. And whenever you talk about them, it's with such like passion and tenacity. I love it. And it sounds super important to you and the rest of Team Xbox. So my question to you is, how do creators inspire the work that you and your team do?
The creators are just the bedrock of everything we do on my team. You know, when you really think about it, where gaming really comes from is it starts
Head of creator
with someone who has a
experience.
creative idea that they choose to put into a game that we all get to experience and enjoy. And that's really the bedrock of our industry, of what motivates us, is to help those people, those developers, bring their stories out. And we think about it in three ways. You know, how do we create a vibrant and engaging gamer community for them to come to through Xbox? What are the set of tools and services that we give them that make it easier and faster and more affordable for them to make a game? And how do we create a range of business models that they can use? Because a business model really enables them to perform all sorts of different types of innovation.
Yeah, business models, tools, resources, all these provide choices, and it's increasing these choices for not only the developers, but the players themselves as well.
Yeah.
For example, you and your team just announced a new feature that's going to bring game demos to players. Can you tell us a little bit more about Project Moorcroft?
Project Moorcroft. I know. I love these project names. I wish they would just let me name it, but
Yeah,
they
just
won't.
say it.
I know,
You know,
they won't.
Can we change that?
Well, look, we were sitting around as a team and we were thinking about some of the things that we've always loved the most about the gaming industry. And one of them was, remember when you would go to like a show like PAX or E3, and you would go to the show floor and you get to play a demo or a piece of a game, and the developer would be right there next to you, talking to you about their experience, asking you to try things out, asking you your feedback. And that was one of the things I loved the most about those experiences. We just don't have them as much anymore, you know, in the way that the world has evolved. And so we thought, gosh, how can we make Game Pass like that? Like, how can we use the power of Game Pass and all of the great discovery and player engagement that is in it and have it create for creators that opportunity to engage with fans early as they're creating their game, and also for players to get to experience something that they're really anticipating. And so that's what we're going to do. We're actually going to have a program that enables developers to take a piece, a level of their game, and put it into Game Pass so that they can get that great feedback and players can engage with them. And we know it's a lot of work sometimes for developers to do that, so we're also going to compensate them for their participation in the program. I'm so excited for what's going to come when we launch that.
I think the one thing that
Microsoft
we
just
all
has
miss
unlimited
is
money
that
at this point.
connection, right? And now that we are able to come back into conferences and stuff like that, we still need to deepen it because
Yeah.
by deepening that connection, you're diversifying the voices, and then that in return helps to diversify the games and bring diversity into games.
Completely.
So how will Microsoft help to further that front?
Yeah, we think about it all the time, frankly, as Microsoft, as Xbox, in my team in particular, because creators is core to everything we do. You know, if you think about a game, it enables you to experience a perspective, a point of view, in a way that is deep and immersive, unlike any other form of media. So the importance of everyone having an equal
Sea of Thieves?
opportunity to share their story and their perspective through a game, and what it means to shaping our perceptions, to what we talk about, to what we believe,
That's
to
Diablo
broaden our
4?
perspectives, is critical, and we think about that all the time. So what we've done as a team is we're continuing to expand the set of developers who we're engaging with and bringing them into the Xbox ecosystem. We've actually more than doubled the number of developers that are making games for Xbox, and we saw lots of those games in the last day, which has been pretty cool. And the other thing that we did this year is for the first time ever, we actually have a presence in Africa. We have our first Xbox employee in Africa, specifically dedicated to working with creators in the region.
So what message would you like to leave for creators who are interested in starting in the industry?
Yeah, I get that question a lot. People say to me, gosh, I would really like to be part of the gaming industry. I'd love to make a game. How do I break through? How do I get involved? And I say, first of all, network. Talk to people, meet people, connect with people, just how you and I connected actually at an industry event, which we met at, which was super fun. You know, build that network and that connectivity because it's so critical in every industry, but I think particularly in gaming, right? You know, go to industry conferences like GDC, meet people, learn, try that out. And if you're interested in making a game for Xbox, you can actually go to github.com. You can actually download the Xbox Game Developer Kit and get started. And once you have a game
I think
concept,
Unreal
you can
Engine
also
5 is
submit
free.
it online through
You can
ID
just
at
download
Xbox.com,
UE5.
and then you can self-publish to Xbox, which is another great way. And of course, if you actually want to get involved in the industry, all companies are great, but I highly recommend you check out coming to work at Xbox. I'm biased, obviously.
I mean, hey, you have every right to be so. Sarah, thank you so much for joining us today. And also, thank you to all the viewers for tuning into Extended. We've heard from so many amazing developers on today's show. Now, before we finish, is there anything else you'd like to share with us?
We were talking earlier about the importance of people being able to tell their story through a game and how incredibly powerful it is. I mean, when we were talking about that, I was thinking about an experience we've had as a team that's been very touching for me. So, you know, a couple years ago, we started really consciously extending the depth and breadth of content that we have in the Xbox ecosystem. And it was through that that I got to know the team making Stalker 2 really well. And I actually got to intro that game last year in the Xbox Game Showcase, and it was just incredible. And you know, the thing was, when I was looking at that game last year, and I was looking at the story that they were telling, and they were talking about the beauty of the land and their dedication to their culture and their country, and I thought, wow, this is a cool game. This is a compelling story. But sitting here today, you know, recognizing that that team is Ukrainian, they were based in Kiev, looking at that story and what they were showing to the world just feels entirely different and far more poignant and visceral to me. You know, this is a team who's talking about their culture, talking about fighting for the existence of being a nation, of being a people, of having their own language. And now we all, as a world, have gotten to see how tenuous that, in fact, is. And it's an honor, frankly, to be part of this industry and to have the opportunity to uplift their voices and to let their story be told through a gaming experience, especially knowing what we know now about the situation in Ukraine. And as part of that, they actually shared with us something that they wanted us to share with all of you today as part of the show.
There's actually been multiple gaming developers from Ukraine that have had their games delayed and that have like moved to other countries. Replaced was another one. During the Summer Game Fest Jeff Keighley show, he talked about Replaced and that team.
Здесь кипела работа, идеи, она не останавливалась. 3 месяца назад началась война России с Украиной.
Шок от робочий день починається з тривоги.
Під час сильних обстрілів ми біжимо в укриття.
Це переноска для мого кота, який загинув ще в перший тиждень війни. Виходиш вечором, сирена, виходиш днем, сирена. Днем еще работать надо, поэтому особо не выйдешь, а вечером все время вот так.
Це моє робоче місце.
Вже 3-й місяць я живу і працюю в коридорі. Зі мною живе одноокий пес, врятований з-під обстрілу в Гостомелі. Зараз мені важко писати квести про війну, коли вона йде навколо.
Так работает в перерывах между сиренами і волонтерськими задачами.
Світ ще побачить, наскільки в нас класна культура і в тому числі, наскільки класні ігри ми можемо робити.
Меня зовут Александр. Я являюсь сотрудником компании ЖСК. Я с Мариуполя. С начала боевых действий была потеряна связь с моими родными и близкими. И это непередаваемое, ужасное чувство, когда ты не знаешь, живы они или нет.
Я Дмитро Ясенєв, розробник Сталкера. Ніколи не міг уявити, що в 21 столітті в центрі Європи може статися повномасштабна війна.
Я Олексій Іванов, ком'юніті-менеджер проекту Сталкер 2. Зі зброєю в руках захищаю свою країну від російської агресії.
Привіт, я Макс, наративний дизайнер гри Сталкер 2. Після перемоги я до неї повернуся. Побачимось на релізі. Слава Україні!
Last question, Dr. Dallin. Are you sure the
It's kind of hard to say anything after that.
the zone is really enough? If a powerful emission were to occur, we would...
Listen, the zone has remained stable for years. Besides, we didn't establish the most advanced institution in human history without first guaranteeing its safety. As the head of the Scientific Institute for Research of the Chernobyl area, or CERC for short, I believe the wonders that we will bring to the world far outweigh the potential risks.
How big are these risks exactly?
The zone reveals a whole new world. We can stick with the old one, fearing change. But tell me, do you want our descendants to remember us as cowards? Or as those who dared to venture forward to a new, better humanity?
I do know that Stalker 1 is kind of considered a niche game, so it'd be interesting to see what this one does.
However, city officials urge people to stay calm, assuring them the situation is totally under control.
First game came out in 2007. All right, there you go, guys. So yeah, that was the second Xbox conference, the extended conference. Got to see... Let me turn that down a little bit. Got to see a little bit of info on some games we've already seen. And got to see some info on some games that we didn't see. So pretty cool stuff. But yeah, I don't think there's really too much more to say about that or to really go over. But it was just, nice seeing... some additional info, nice little interview from Pete from Bethesda, but yeah, overall, pretty good stuff. For those who are watching on YouTube, I think we'll cut the video right there. So yeah, big thanks to everybody who's watching, and yeah, we'll see you next time.